evening.
Good evening to you too.
Welcome back to Dissect. I go by the name of Novelist.
And I am Jewel.
What up, Jay? It is cold outside. It's snowing outside. Well, it's
Yeah.
snowing in Scarborough. I don't know. Mississauga could be a whole different world.
It's scrawling, like there's wind blowing and there's snow squalls here,
Yeah.
We almost were matching today. You put this sweater on.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, gotta be a little bit different,
Right.
Just a little bit. Can't be too much,
Yeah.
Whatever. Everything's good though.
Okay.
All right.
Was that a question or?
No, I'm saying everything's good.
All right, cool.
Yeah, everything's
That's
good.
good here too.
Everything's good with you?
Everything's good.
All right.
Yeah. Can't wait to get this show started. We're
Yes.
on episode 4 already. Oh my god.
Crazy, right? Episode 4, season 5. Nuts. We have a different type of guest tonight, and that's, well, yes, we never did hockey before, and female hockey at that. So that should be exciting. So I guess let's get into the intro and come back with our guest for the evening.
That's right.
Back in twos.
So I'm Janine Zabi across.
I'm Janelle Zabi. And where's Zabi Street?
This is what you beat on the inside and we're ready to go.
Are you, Jewel? No, I'm getting talents that you're not talking about.
I just get put up the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Drum.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that they've done such a good job with hospitality and welcoming all people in.
Well, Samantha Moon.
So my name is Claudette Alona People.
I am Selena.
And then that's how it started. When I came home,
My name is Pumba. Stage name, of course.
Well, I was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica.
I am Evelina Blanc.
I am a mother first. I think I'm a really wonderful friend. And a really great business.
I gotta be ready because you're like, oh, she picked that. No, I didn't.
Yep. I am Kendra Stephen.
I am Rena Charles, aka Mystery.
People forward in victory.
Mikyla Grant-Mentis has made a name for herself, but her story isn't just about hockey. 7 Sports reporter Brianna Aldridge has more.
Grant-Mentis has an opportunity.
Mikyla Grant-Mentis, most would say, was destined to be on the ice.
So my dad's like a pretty big ball hockey star.
Mikyla's family roots to the game of hockey go all the way back to the early 1900s.
There's a long history of my family that plays. They're from Nova Scotia, my dad's side of the family, so they started the Black Hockey Club there.
It only took her to the age of 4 to realize her true passion. All she had to do was convince her dad.
He put my 2 brothers in hockey and didn't allow me to play at first, and I did everything possible to get him to, let me just try it.
A decision that would ultimately turn Mikyla into being the face of the Buffalo Beauts, breaking barriers in women's hockey.
Mikyla Grant-Mentis!
So it's definitely weird to hear that, like, I'm the first to do something. Because, I'm always normally in the shadows and stuff, so it definitely feels good. And, I think I've worked my whole life to this point.
Before coming to Buffalo, the forward led the Toronto Six in goals and became the first black player in the league to win the Most Valuable Player award. And with all her success on the ice, still, the love for the game didn't allow her to make a real living.
Pretty much, they could have just kept the check with what they were paying me. So I did have to have a second job.
Balancing the task at working at FedEx in the early hours following practice paid off. Mikyla's agent called with the good news. Buffalo was signing her to a 1-year, $80,000 contract, making her the highest paid player in women's hockey.
They're now expanding more, and the money for each player is going up every single year. So hopefully in the coming years, no one will have to work and they can just play hockey.
Brianna Aldridge, 7 Sports, Buffalo.
Okay, as you heard, Mikyla Grant-Mentis is with us tonight. All those lovely things that we're going to give some credit to ABC News because they covered that story. We have her on tonight, Mikyla Grant-Mentis. She is still the leading goal scorer for the Women's Hockey League, and she's hockey professional hockey foundation, and she is still the MVP, right? You're still the MVP for
in 2021, but yeah.
2021. Okay, so okay, so every year they have a new one. So
yes,
MVP. To us, you're our MVP because you're still like a Black women's hockey player, which is near and dear to us. Welcome to Dissect.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being with us. So, how is it? Oh man, I guess let's start from base. Who's Mikyla? Like, your background, like where do you come from, your parents, stuff like that.
Yeah, so my mom is from Kingston, Jamaica. I believe she moved over here when she was 8 years old with her sister and mom.
Okay.
And my dad is from Nova Scotia, was actually born in Sudbury, but his dad was playing hockey at the time.
Right.
And I believe they met in Toronto area, and
Okay.
here I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just before we go on, I noticed that our banner is saying that you're with the Buffalo Buttes. You're no longer with the Buffalo team. You're currently playing with the Montreal Victory, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Just a correction there. So if you see the banner, she's now a Canadian player.
Yeah.
We've taken full ownership of her.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So what made you want to get into hockey? Was it like, well, I know you just said your dad played hockey, but is that why you wanted to play hockey, or where did the love for hockey come from?
Yeah, I think it came from, like I have a twin brother. So when my dad put him in hockey, I was like, well, I need to be playing this as well.
Right.
And also my older brother was playing, so I kind of just felt left out. And, we'd always play mini sticks at home, and, we were always around hockey, and I just felt like that I needed to be a part of it. So, I tried my hardest when I was a kid to convince my dad to, let me play. And he finally did when I was 4, and I've honestly never stopped since then.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, you're breaking barriers in a few different areas that cross over. You are not only female, you're Black, and you're Indigenous.
Yeah.
So there's 3 areas that you're breaking records, and you're setting pathways for people like young girls that are coming up behind you. How does that feel to be like this icon, this role model? Do you feel that way, or just do you feel like a regular person?
Yeah, I feel like a regular person. It kind of just depends on the atmosphere I'm in. Like, there's times when I'm surrounded by, young hockey players that, they're looking at me like they know who I am, and they're like looking up at me. So it's something cool to see. But most times I just think I'm a regular person. Like, if anybody came up to me on the street, like, I would talk to them. I wouldn't feel like I'm no superstar in any way. So, but it's nice to, to have the young girls look up to me in many ways.
For sure.
So who's one of your favorite hockey players growing up?
My favorite hockey player was Matt Sundin. He's an old Toronto Maple Leaf player.
Oh, yeah.
Player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was definitely my favorite. Although he was defense, I did play defense when I was playing boys hockey, but when I switched to girls, I switched to forward. But he was always my favorite.
Is there anybody else that you look to now, or because I mean Sundin is retired right now, right?
I know. Honestly, at this point, it would be like kind of the new guys, so like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews, just
all Maple Leafs, huh?
Yeah,
I know. They're my favorites, so I gotta stick with them all the way.
I hear that.
Yes,
I hear that.
I want to jump into a whole different conversation. When novelist likes to start from the beginning, go forward.
Ahead. I like the base. I like the basics. I like, let the people know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
And then we get into the, dive into the goodies. So go ahead.
I'm going to save it for a little bit later on, but go ahead, novelist. I think you have another You might have another
No,
question.
no.
No, you don't? Okay. So I want to get into, because we only have an hour with you. So this is Dissect. And on Dissect, we like to dissect the things. So like we heard in that previous interview that you are the highest player, paid player. Are you currently still the highest paid player
in the league?
In the league?
No. So actually, from that interview, I was, it was a different league. Now the league was bought out by a new league. So now the PWHL is a new league that started 2 years. This is its second year now. And I'm not the highest paid, unfortunately. There's a couple more players, a lot of players getting paid higher than me, but I obviously have to work my way back up to that. So, yeah.
And that was just for me. Thank you for answering that. That was for me just a precursor to, the wages that are compared, the women's wages compared to the male wages. What is that like? What is the difference there?
It's actually crazy. It's too much, to be frank, but I believe like if you were just thinking like a rookie salary, so someone coming into the league for the first year, I believe in the males, the most they can make is 75,000, where us coming into the league for the first time, it's only 50,000. So it's a little bit of a jump being a male to a female, but I mean, we got to work our way up. It's only the second year of the league. So hopefully, that changes in the coming years.
Yeah. Those barriers need to be broken. And I don't know, how do we protest with you and show our solidarity? Because you're doing the same work. You're on the ice. You're working the same hours. You're doing practice the same as they are, Anyway.
But would you say it's probably like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in my mind thinking, I mean, would you say it's probably because it's new? Like it's a new thing that's coming up? That's probably why. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there has been leagues before this one that have been successful and things like that. But I also just think now women's sports in general, not even just hockey, is kind of being brought, into a bigger scale now.
Yes.
So I feel like slowly and surely, the women will start being paid more. It's just obviously it's not going to happen right away. So it's just going to take a couple of years. Hopefully when I'm still playing, but it's for the next generation at this point.
I just had a question, but there was one from the audience. How was it playing boys hockey for you?
It was amazing playing boys hockey. I got to play with my twin most of my years, and playing with him was a joy. We always, although we were playing different positions, we'd always have competitions to see who would score more. And he was definitely better than me when we were younger. Now at this point, I can't say that still, but we could definitely go back and forth to see who's better. Now at hockey.
So is your brother in the league right now, or is this?
Yeah, he actually injured himself this summer, so he's not playing at the current moment, but I think he will be getting back to hockey soon.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
I was gonna mention something, but we'll just. I don't want to. I don't want to dissect everything so early. Anyways, how is it like? How do the audience, like, how do the viewers, the audience that are in the fans, how do they perceive you as being a Black female? Do they see you any differently? Do you feel different when you're out there? Do you hear comments from people?
Personally, I do not. Honestly, like the people I've interacted with just see me as a hockey player, not a Black hockey player, which I think is good. But I definitely do get recognized, definitely a little bit more than other players on the team, especially because I am the only Black player, obviously, in Montreal. And, but yeah, like the other day I was at the Apple store and this lady came up to me and said, "Oh, good game yesterday," and stuff like that. So it's definitely easier to recognize me than, my roommate that was standing beside me that is also on my team, but, she came up to me instead. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good. I mean, I don't mind it. I obviously like being unique in many ways. So I don't mind, people noticing me for the color of my skin.
Lovely. I like that.
Now, you mentioned, well, someone mentioned playing hockey with the boys. How is that? Like, was it? I know how men could be at times. Was it like welcoming? Was it, kind of eerie, I would say, or weird?
Yeah, no, you're on the right page there. I think it was definitely a little bit of a shock. I was the only girl in my age playing boys hockey.
Right,
And, I didn't make a lot of teams because I was a girl,
right.
even though, like I was still good. I was pretty much as good as all of them.
Hmm.
So when I was younger, I pretty much made all my teams because of my twin. Like it was a 2-for-1 deal if you want my twin, which was very good. He was a really good goal scorer. So
Right.
if you wanted him, you had to take me
Yes,
as
right,
well. So it was
package.
kind of a 2-for-1 deal. And I think
Right.
I definitely benefit off that a little bit.
Hmm.
But even in terms of just like playing other teams, like they would always go after me because I'm the girl. They wanted to hit me and all that. But, my twin and all the guys on my team also stuck up for me all the time. So
Oh, nice,
he
nice.
got a lot of penalties because if anybody touched me on the ice, he
Right.
was going after them. So I don't know if that was a good thing. And I think that's why
Yeah.
I switched to girls hockey eventually.
Yeah, so your team protected you. That's good.
Yes, exactly.
Big brother role.
Like that. So tell us about I'm thinking about like when I have students that play hockey and they gotta leave early, they can't be there on certain days, they're practicing. Tell us about how that was growing up, and like just to kind of encourage young up and coming players that they feel like it's a lot and they can't keep up. Like tell us about how that was, and maybe encourage those younger people coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot. It's going to take, everything that you have to do schoolwork and then play hockey outside of school. But it all just takes determination. If you want it, you'll be able to do it. Going to school from, what is school, like 8 to 2. And then I'd get home, try and do some homework, but then be leaving for practice, depending on where I was playing. Like it would take an hour and a half to get to practice or something like that. So, and then be getting back at 11 p.m., then have to go to sleep to do it all over again the next day. It was a lot to juggle, but I mean, if you want to do it and if you have the determination, you can definitely get it done and, make sure that you're getting everything done for school and for the hockey part.
Nice. Thank you for that.
How is it now? I'm like, do you have any like charities or any other stuff that you have going beside hockey that keeps you on your toes?
Currently now, not much. I mean, especially because I'm in Montreal, I'm not really close to anything. But
Right.
when I am home, my aunt does have a non-for-profit that delivers food to a senior citizen home every Tuesday. So I would help her with that. But since I'm in Montreal, I don't really have much going on but hockey, which is kind of nice sometimes.
Nice. Also,
Yeah.
that's good. You have to focus on your game a little bit more.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's a question in the back. We see it in the back end. If you can just put it on the screen there, moderator. I'll ask it. So did your family support you with your career, or does your family support you with your career?
Yeah, my family is my biggest supporters. They've been there, since day one, since I was in college, even playing as a young girl, they've been there. To this day, I mean, they will make road trips wherever I am, Montreal, Buffalo. Obviously, Toronto was the easiest for them. But yeah, they're my biggest supporters. Can always count on them to be watching at home, wherever they are, no matter what.
Okay.
So I take it mom is a big hockey fan, or does mom just support the family?
No, my mom is a huge hockey fan. We call her the coach because she thinks she knows everything.
Right.
Although sometimes it's a little skeptical, but
Right.
you know, she's always there every time.
Right. Rooting for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying because to have your dad, which is a hockey player, and then to have your brother and yourself, like she has to love the game, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, she really did.
Nice.
Yeah. And I just saw a comment, especially your late grandmother as well. She was a great supporter as well.
Yes, yes. My grandma, although she had no idea what was going on and hated that we hit and all that, she would come to all the games and just, you know, cheer with my family. So that was nice to have all the time.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody who's never been to a hockey game? Like, what would you say to them to make them want to come to a hockey game or even come to your hockey game?
Yeah, I would say honestly, it's just like, especially if you come to Montreal, I've been here now for the start of this year, which is 2 games in Montreal and then a couple of games last year. And it's like a party. Like my mom always says, it's the best time in between the periods because we have a live DJ that's just, you know, playing music to your liking.
Right.
And during the games, it's like, it's fast. There's hitting. There's, you know, little scrums. Obviously, we can't fight because we have full cages on, but,
Right.
and we do like our faces, obviously, more than the men. But, it's a good game and it's nice. It's fun to watch and you know you just have to be open to it. Although you might not know the rules, as long as you know you're looking for, you know, small things that you can attract to. It's really nice game to watch.
Right. But you mentioned fighting, right? And I know fighting is a big thing in hockey, right?
Yeah.
Are the women allowed to fight in hockey as well, or?
No, we're definitely not allowed to
Okay.
fight because we have
Okay.
full cages. You'd probably break your hand if you tried to
Right.
punch somebody.
Right.
But there's definitely a lot of scrums and, you know, like there's sometimes big hits that, you know, there's little punching
Right.
going on, but
Little
nothing too
personal.
big like the
Yeah,
men.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the men, yeah. I remember I went to school with a lot of hockey players and they would lose a lot of teeth, these boys. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like, seriously, you guys love the game that much? You want to lose your teeth, your face? Like they'd come back from games and they're all banged up and they love that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we like our teeth. We like to keep them straight, wide. We don't need any of that.
Wow. There was a comment that just came up or a question. Looking to the future, what would your hopes be for women's hockey? What are your hopes?
Yeah, honestly, just to be like similar to the men's league right now, there's so much money and so much interest in the men's league that, you know, that's what we want for women. And I think how successful the league was last year and into this year, it's only going to get even better.
Right.
Obviously, I probably won't be around still playing when it's at its highest, but, you know, it's for the younger girls that, you know, I see growing up and I see at the rink now that, you know, I hope they have a league that will be around and be able to pay them, you know, lots of money to, you know, make a living out of it.
Right.
For sure.
But would you consider coaching or any other form of just being involved in the game after you decide not to play anymore?
Yeah, I actually I didn't do much coaching this summer, but the previous 3 years before, I actually coached a team in Brampton, a junior team. So it was like, I believe the age of like 16 to 18.
Right.
And I would help out 2 guys that I knew coaching there. And honestly, it's so fun. I love it. I love, you know, teaching girls, you know, like just showing them like they can do it. They can be, you know, a professional hockey player if they keep pushing. And that was honestly my favorite time. So from then, I've always wanted to coach after I'm done. So I'm just kind of like, you know, doing small things here and there to make sure that, you know, I have that opportunity when I get there.
Okay. Thank you. There was a long question there, but how would you explain the game to someone that has no idea about the game? Like, how would you explain hockey to them?
Yeah, I would say hockey is, you know, similar to any other sport like soccer, baseball. It's one team against another. There's 5 players on the ice at a time, and you're basically trying to score on the other team's net. different from soccer. The players get to change as they go. Most shifts are like 30 seconds long. You don't really stay on for much longer than that. And it's 20-minute periods. And yeah, it's just the team to score the most goals, wins in the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage anybody, for me personally, well, growing up in a Maple Leafs house, when I did not understand what hockey was, I was just sitting there. Playoffs time, you get excited because everybody else is excited, right?
Yeah.
But to really get into a hockey, I think you would have to actually go to a game. After you go to that first game, and you're like, okay, now I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like the excitement is nuts.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
nuts. And if you have good seats behind that glass, woo!
Did you have the good seats behind the
Yes, I
glass?
did. Yes, I
Okay.
did. My
Look at
sister and I
you.
had good seats, and we're just banging. I was like the coach. Like, why? Come on, foul! Why? Like, oh, you just get into the game, and like, yeah, you have to take in a live game to really get it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Question from the back here. A pro and a con for ladies considering hockey as a career path.
Interesting question. I'd say a pro to that is not even the hockey aspect. It's kind of just like the family that you create from a hockey team. Like, I can tell you so many girls that obviously are not playing hockey now that I'm still like very close friends with, just because I met them when I was 14 years old playing hockey.
Right.
So it's like the family bond that you get when you're playing hockey is nothing like I can't even explain it. A con to it is, it's long hours, especially when you're younger. It's long hours, not even for yourself, but for your parents. It's a lot of money to invest in like playing hockey. It costs so much money now. I don't even know how my parents did it with 3 kids when I was younger. So it's a lot of investment from the parents and from the kid to, make it as far as they can playing hockey. And, if they really love it, I would say now I'm returning that investment to my mom. Obviously, she gets to come to my games.
Yes.
I'm making money now, so it's nice to see, but it's definitely a lot of, hard work from both parents and kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you should pay the women more.
That's
Exactly.
Hockey, if not the most expensive sport, like equipment wise, is definitely
far.
top 2, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's great. I had to buy a stick last summer because there was just a shipment issue and it wasn't coming in. And I walked into the store and I said, absolutely not. I will wait until my sticks come from my team because it's pretty expensive now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I had the opportunity of working with, I can't remember the acronym right now, but basically it's an organization of racialized players, so Black and Indigenous players. They created this organization where they sponsored equipment, and I got to see all the equipment coming in, and those sticks, like one of the goalie sticks was $200, like 200 plus. And I was like, these things cost a lot of money. No wonder, it's hard for families to invest in putting their kids into the sport. That was just the stick.
Yeah. The skates are even more expensive.
Yeah.
And I would think that, the ones you get in the store versus the one you guys actually use is the price difference is probably high,
Oh yeah. They're at least sticks are at least now like almost $500. And that's just for one that can break in 2 seconds if someone slashes it.
Damn,
so
son. Wow.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Somebody agreed for more money. Yes, they should pay them some more money. Excuse me.
Can we petition? How do we petition for this? Like, there must be a petition going around for that.
I honestly don't even know. I don't know where the money could come from, but we deserve it. And, the longer we keep playing and keep putting on a show for people, we will definitely get that money.
And the money come from putting more fans in the seat.
Yeah.
More fans, more commercials, those type of things. Right?
Yeah. I think the good thing about you being in Montreal and being Black is that there's a lot of Black people in Montreal that eventually when they, if they're not into the sport, that eventually, if they start seeing billboards or ads with you, they may, start saying, all right, you know what, let's look at hockey.
Let's try it out. Yeah.
And
no,
that's
I agree.
what I would love to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. Have you met any of your any Maple Leaf player at all?
I'm not like. Oh gosh.
I know the time was gonna come, but it wasn't enough. Yeah, I know that time was coming.
Yeah.
You got to get the door or something.
No. I think someone just drove past it. Let me just
Okay.
go get him to calm him down.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna join the interview at some point.
Oh, that was friendly animals.
I really thought I was gonna make it the whole time without him barking, but someone did. I just saw the lights and I was like, "Oh, don't do it." I thought he was sleeping. I don't remember the question you asked me. Sorry.
Oh, I don't remember either. My bad.
Oh my gosh, you just threw me off too.
My bad. No, the dog just took the interview to the next level.
Yeah.
I was asking if you ever met any of your
hockey players,
any of your favorite hockey players, or any Maple.
Oh yes. I don't think I've met like any of the new, like the younger ones.
Right.
But I've met like retired players before, like at events and stuff. So, I mean, they weren't my favorite players, but it's pretty nice to meet like retired players that, have played the sport for so long and now are, making a living past hockey and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always said I would like to meet Wayne Gretzky. Yeah,
that would be a sick one. Yeah, that'd
favorite.
be pretty cool.
I worked next to us. Well, when I was doing construction back in the day, I worked next to a hockey player, and I so wish I could remember his name. He was actually in the Matt Sundin era. He was on that team, and I just wish I would see his wife every morning driving out. Like, I would so wish I could remember his name. Yeah, I would see them I wouldn't see him every morning, but I would see him once in a while, and yeah, it's like, oh, that's that guy. Yeah.
So, Mikyla, cool. Do you have to psych yourself up for your games? Like, do you get nervous? Like, how do you, is your adrenaline pumping when you are about to get on the ice? How's it feel for you, getting on in a game?
Yeah, good question. Honestly, I feel like I'm such a really laid back, chill person that I don't really get psyched up. I don't really have to some people have to drink coffee, drink this, drink that, all these things to get, pumped up for the game, where I'm just showing up to have fun with my friends most times, which is fun for me. So, my drive, obviously some people might know that the traffic in Montreal is not the greatest. Mm-hmm. So going to our game, sometime it takes us a little over an hour. So I'm just listening to music that I like sing along music, so that I'm just in a good mood, happy mood when I show up. And then, I like playing games before and, just hopping on the ice and having fun, where there are some people that have a lot of, superstitions. They have to drink coffee, 2 coffees, espresso shots, all this crazy stuff. And I mean, if I drank a coffee, I think my heart would pop out of my chest. So I just try to keep it simple for myself.
Nice. Au natural.
Exactly.
I was actually gonna get into that. What type of music? What do you listen to?
My mom always says that I'm a white girl living in a black girl's body because of the music choices that I have.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you know where it's going.
Taylor Swift?
No Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift would be an accepted party because of how big she is now.
Where are we going?
Exactly. My favorite artist is Billie Eilish. She probably
Yeah.
never. Okay, you heard of
I love Billie Eilish.
We love music over here.
There we
Okay,
go.
all right. Okay.
Yeah, she's my favorite. So I'm always singing to her in the car before games.
Right.
Okay.
That's not bad.
She's big. Billie Eilish is big.
She's huge. Good. My mom always says you need to listen to somebody else all the time. So I'm glad other people know.
That's crazy.
So
We usually interview a lot of music artists, singers, entertainers on our show. So we're big into music. We were just discussing this was it last week or the week before? Like we can listen to any genre of music except heavy metal.
Do you listen
I totally agree with you on that one.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, do you listen to heavy metal?
No, not for me.
Yeah. So we love music over here. So yeah. All right. Anybody else? That's it.
Honestly, yeah, that's it. I do listen to everything. So you can put any music on and I will probably know the song, but the people that I put on the most is probably Billie Eilish for sure.
Yeah. It's funny because when I was posting your videos, like your ads, I was like, what music would she listen to? Like what would go good with Mikyla? And I couldn't think. I was like, something soft. I was like, not like anything too hard, not definite, not dancehall or anything like that.
No.
I was like, okay, something's mellow, more mellow for her. And I was right.
What did you end up with then?
Oh my gosh. I don't know the names of songs.
Okay.
It was like instrumentals, more instrumentals.
Okay. Yeah.
And old school stuff.
Do you listen to Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna ask, what do you do on your days off? Because I know that you guys played this week you had a game.
Yeah, we played last night actually in Ottawa.
Oh, last night.
Yeah.
In Ottawa. So what do you do on your days off? Like I felt so bad this morning. I texted you, I messaged you and I was like, oh my gosh, she's probably sleeping. It was 9:00, but I'm like, she's probably still sleeping. Like, what do you do on your days off?
Oh yeah, I was definitely still sleeping. I think I stayed in bed until 11 today. We got back from our trip at 2 a.m. So then by the time I got back, it was pretty late. So I slept in today, which is always nice. And then just kind of watch TV. We watched the other games that were on today. And then now we're just hanging out with friends on the team and just, we're going to go for dinner later. And we just kind of chill because we do so much hockey, so much physical activity that chilling on the couch is always nice when we're done with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
From the back end, someone said, great goal last night, Mikyla.
Thank you.
Honestly, I was looking to figure out how do I get onto the games. And I got to watch highlights of your games, but I couldn't figure out how to actually get onto your games. And I'm also trying to get to Montreal over the holidays, but you're not playing during the holidays. So
no, I think we just played our last one in Montreal. We won't be back until December 30th, I believe. Something like that. I'm not sure. Okay. We go one day at a time here, unfortunately.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah. Joel mentioned wanting to. So, is it aired on any of the huge networks or?
Yeah, so most games are on TSN if we're in Canada or playing in Montreal. Right. TSN or CBC, I believe the other one is. Mm-hmm. And then when it's in America, I believe they're still on TSN, probably just one of TSN 5 or something. Okay. Or internationally, it's on YouTube, I believe as well. So YouTube. Yeah, it just depends where you are in the world when you're watching.
Right. Okay, so Dale in the back, you can watch her on YouTube. What did it feel like? Oh, yes. I was going to ask something about your goal, but what did it feel like getting your first goal of the season?
It was good. It was actually, I loved it because last year I scored my first goal of the season at the end of the season. So it was nice to score my first goal at the beginning of the season this year.
Nice.
And especially it was against the team that I was released from last year. So it was really nice to get that against them.
Oh, so you took that personal.
Exactly.
That's nice. I like that. Oh man.
That's the stuff.
Are you guys allowed to like I don't know what the word is, like when you celebrate after a goal, like how are you allowed to like show off kind of thing? Or do they minimize that for you?
No, you can do pretty much whatever you want when you score. But honestly, my dad told me that if you celebrate like crazy when you score, that means you don't score often. So I'm not a huge celebrator when I score. It's pretty much just like hand in the air, like that's it. That's all I got most times when I score. Unless it's like a pretty huge goal, like a playoff goal or something like that. It's nothing crazy coming from me.
That's what most players look forward to is like the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Right. So regular season is just like, well, I would want to think you take it serious because you're trying to get to that goal. But regular season, I notice a lot of players, they don't really like, especially people who been in the league for more than 2-3 years, right? They tend to not celebrate as hard.
Yeah. It honestly depends on like what goal you're scoring. Like if you're scoring a game tying goal that's it's been a very exciting game and you're into it, obviously you're probably going to celebrate like very hard.
Right.
But I would say it depends on the player also. Like there's a lot of people that do celebrate and there's nothing against it. It's just I've just remember my dad telling me once, like, because I know my twin loves to celebrate and he always puts on the biggest show when he scores.
Right.
So I just remember my dad saying once, like, if you celebrate like crazy when you score, like it makes people think that you don't score often.
Right.
So that's always in the back of my head. So unless it's like a huge goal, I'm not putting on a show. I'm just, here I am. Woo, good goal.
Yeah, that's great. Humble yourself. Humility is always great.
Of course.
And I remember I was watching some interviews, like just getting kind of like some background information before you came on. And there was an interview that you mentioned, like you had a different kind of persona when you were younger, as to, now like kind of like not show offy, but you're like, oh, I'm a great player, so I don't have to work as hard kind of thing. And you've humbled yourself along the way. So I like that about you, that you can learn from, I wouldn't say mistakes, but you
experience.
You can accept growth and criticism and work from there and become a better person.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, growth is really good. Growth mindset's always great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You had a comment, Jay.
I had a comment.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. What is like the age of retirement for a hockey player, generally?
It honestly all depends, and it depends on like how well you take care of your body. Like there's girls in the league right now, the league that I'm in, that are, I believe, like 33, 34. That's the oldest. So it just honestly depends on how you take care of your body. There's players in the men's league that are almost 40. So it just depends, injuries and all that stuff. Just really takes into consideration. But most, I would say like 30, 35 range is when people start to hang it up.
Okay. And do you, like, with your contracts, do you have like massage packages and stuff like that like benefits to keep you on that path of keep taking care of your body?
Yeah, we actually have like, so we have two, we call them AT, but right now I'm blanking on what that actually means. Athletic therapists every day at the rink. And then a massage guy comes in every other day. There's also like acupuncture. There's like so many things going on at our rink most times to keep our bodies going. We have like ice tubs. We have everything possible to like make sure that we're at our best always. So we're definitely treated well here.
Nice.
So, what's your ultimate goal as a hockey player?
You know, that is honestly a good question. I feel like I've definitely reached, you know, my max, like where I wanted to go. When I was younger, we didn't really have professional hockey, so my goal was to make it to college. You know, I made it to college, and then when I got there, the women's hockey game started growing. So then there was a professional league. So then from college, my goal was to get obviously to a professional league, and you know, I took that off the list. So you know, I feel like I've checked off so many things out of my boxes that I've reached the thing that I've always wanted to get to. I think the one thing that, you know, I haven't made yet would be like a Team Canada team, but at the same time, I'm at the point where it's like I've already done so much that I'm good at where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. So if I just keep, you know, playing well in this league, if the doors open up for me for Team Canada, it does. If it doesn't, I wouldn't be too disappointed in my, you know, career. I'd be pretty happy at where I am. So I think I'm at where I love where I'm at, but definitely like, you know, winning a championship would be awesome as well and stuff like that.
Of course.
For sure. Are you bilingual, Mikyla?
I can understand French, but I cannot speak it. Like I just don't have the roll of the tongue to do all that. But if you speak slow, like I could probably understand, you know, a little bit of what you're saying or point you in the right direction if you're asking a question.
I just asked because you're in Montreal, and I'm sure some girls on the team are also French.
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay, and all right, and what's the difference for you, or is there a difference for you playing in Canada versus the United States?
I wouldn't say there's much of a difference. I feel like the Canadian fans are way more excited for when we play. Like when we're in Montreal, like sometimes you can't even hear yourself think because it's so loud. So that's really nice. Whereas in America, I feel like they have other sports to focus on, like football and all that. So I feel like when we're in Canada, it's always like very loud, and you know, the support is it's known. So it's nice to be in Canada and get that support every game.
Right.
Yeah, I think America is more into basketball and American football.
Yes.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah. Where we love soccer, hockey, baseball, basketball, everything.
Everything. Hockey for sure.
I think I could definitely speak for Toronto, and I would say Montreal as well, and say wherever it is a good sporting event, we're gonna be there.
And loud.
And very loud, yeah.
Yep, that's for sure.
So I think it's a diverse of cultures. So all right. So
I'm looking at the time.
I know you're looking at the time.
I'm looking for my questions here.
So like we had mentioned to you before, we have this game that we play called Quick Cuts, where we ask you a question and you don't have to dwell on the answer. You just pretty much say whatever pops in your head, but of course you want to protect yourself, right?
Yes.
So it should be fun. Nothing degrading, and yeah. So Jay, you want to start, or?
I'm ready to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest risk you ever took?
Oh gosh.
Started with a hard one, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't take risk. I stay in my lane. I don't like taking risks. Like, I'd say the biggest risk was like buying my Jeep when I didn't really have money to pay for it, but I wanted a Jeep, so I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do have money now to pay for it, but when I bought it, probably not.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good risk.
Yeah.
Honesty or transparency? Transparency.
Ooh. One or the other?
It's up to you. But yeah, one or the other.
Ooh, that's tough. I would say honesty. Honesty is the best policy, is what I say all the time. So,
Okay.
as long as you're honest, you don't take much to heart, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Okay. Worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh, that's a good one too, because I really don't get it. I don't really take advice from many people. Worst piece of advice? It's probably when people said to like, I'm not people, and I'm more speaking of like the males, when they say that, female hockey's horrible, you should just quit now, like it's not going to go anywhere. That's definitely not good advice because of what it's grown up into now. So I'd say that's has to be the worst advice I've had.
Okay. Where's it?
Here we go.
Yeah, sure. Wait. Oh, okay.
Any regrets?
I don't have many, and I try to not have many regrets. I would think the only thing that comes to mind is I wish I worked out a little harder when I was a kid, because nowadays, like there's kids that are 15, 16, 17 that are so good at hockey because they've started young, working out, doing the extra ice and all that. And when I was playing, I was just playing to have fun with my friends. That's it at that point. So I wish I really took it serious when I was younger, because I feel like I would have been much better player and a much better career, and I wouldn't have to go through all the kind of ups and downs that I went through. But yeah, I just wish I took it a little bit serious when I was younger, so that it would have built me up easier to now.
Fair enough.
Okay. Loyalty or respect?
These are like, what? They're like, how can you have one but not the other? I would take loyalty, because you don't have to respect someone to be loyal to them most times, I think. So I would take loyalty because that goes a long way to me.
Okay. If you were stranded on an island, uninhabited island.
Oh gosh.
Would you rather be alone or with someone? And if you chose to be with someone, who would that someone be?
I would definitely like to be with someone. And if I had to choose, I think I would pick my best friend, Daryl Watts, which is another hockey player. We met when we were kids, like maybe 11 years ago, and we've honestly just been best friends since then. And we used to live together last year, and it was just the best time ever. So I think if we were on an island together, like it would be a sticky situation and very stressful, but we would make the best out of it. So I think that would be my choice of person.
Nice.
Okay.
So we're going there, or are we going to
No. I'm going to leave that up to you. What's love? Like, what does love mean to you?
Love?
Yes.
I think love to me is just like showing up for somebody, if that makes sense. Like, I know my family has the utmost love for me because they show up to like every hockey game. They're always watching. I mean, even when I'm playing the games and my family knows I'm not around my phone for at least 4 hours,
right?
They're still sending me voice memos, text messages, like I'm reading it. Like they're coaching me how to play hockey while I'm playing the game. And it's honestly the best to go back and look at it after, because it is like most of my family doesn't know much about hockey, but they're, just trying their best to, support me. And
Right.
it's awesome to see that. So I think that's like that's love to me. The people that
Right.
show up for me every day and the people that, like support me in whatever, direction I go with what I'm doing.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the ultimate question.
Oh gosh.
Tell us about a time when something made you laugh the hardest.
Oh, this is an easy question. I
Oh, it
think
is?
you don't know yet. Let me think about it. Something that made me laugh the hardest. I laugh a lot, like every day. I'm a laughing person. I can't even say a specific time, and I don't know why my whole life is about hockey, of course, but I would just say, like being in a change room with my teammates, like we're laughing constantly. We're always making jokes. If it's at one another, if it's about ourselves, like we're always making jokes, or even when we're traveling, like on a bus, we're always laughing. We're always telling jokes, or in a hotel room, like it's just a family bond that we have. Like we can make fun of each other, just knowing it's all love, and we're just here for a good time. So I'd say the hardest I've ever laughed is with my teammates, in the change room, on a bus, in a hotel room, wherever we are.
Nice.
Okay,
You
cool.
played it safe, Mikyla.
I know.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't think of like a specific story to be
I was waiting
exact.
for an embarrassing moment on the ice where, or the opposite team, I don't know, or a player, teammate fell, I don't know, something.
Oh,
But
there's
you
a
played it
lot of
safe.
toe picking that go on, but we now have like fines for my hockey team. So like if you're toe picking on the ice,
Right.
we're all laughing at you, and then you're getting fined after when we get off the ice.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
See, so there you go.
You're really humble. Like you come across as a really humble. Like even the questions that we thought would have been hard, like, oh no, rolls off my back. No, I don't have to, like prepare myself. I'm just chill, And that's you all the time. That's great.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you in the playoffs one day and actually win the championship, because I know this humble person that we're seeing right now.
Thank you. I hope to win as well.
Yes.
Like a firecracker on the ice.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So, thank you for joining us. If there's anybody that you want to shout out to, if you want to shout out your social media, anything like that, now is your chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to shout out obviously my family. They're definitely watching because they always watch everything I do. So shout out to all of them watching. Shout out to obviously my Montreal Victoire, my team, the PWHL, and then I'm on Instagram at, I believe, Grant-Mentis. Yeah, I think that's my name for everything, all social media. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We had fun with you tonight, and
the dog.
And the dog, yes.
Yeah, at least he only barked once, so that's a plus for me.
Right.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for educating us tonight.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully you guys can make it out to a game in Toronto or Montreal.
Yes.
For sure.
Sure. Toronto, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure. All
right. Take care, Mikyla.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye.
And there you have it. Another exciting, another educational moment on Dissect. And I like her. She's chill.
Yeah, real chill. Real
Yeah.
chill. Real.
Remind me of somebody I know.
Good person.
Yeah. Just chill. So, who do we have next week?
Wow. Oh, wow. Next week, we have another female.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Zoe, otherwise known as Travel with Zoe. Right. So she's a female who vlogs. She goes all around the Caribbean, and it's is now singing. She's a singer now. She's been doing a lot of tunes. Well, hopefully we can get a version of it that's a clean version to play on the.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Travel with Zoe. She's going to be on next week. She's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like we're going to have an interesting show next week.
She's from the UK, so she's going to come with her British accent.
Oh, so she probably have the British / Trini accent going on.
No, you know what?
No,
I've been watching her on. No, she's just UK
Okay.
British accent, and she's interesting.
Right. Well, you guys join us right back here next week. Please subscribe to our channels, TDN TV, TDN Network 1, or Dissect TV on YouTube, or follow us on Facebook. And we'll see you guys next week, right back here at 7 p.m. You guys have a blessed weekend and a blessed week. I go by the name of Novelist, and
I am Jewel.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
So I'm Janine Zabi across. I'm Janelle Zabi. And we're Zabi Street.
So this is what you need time, the inside and the ready complex.
Are you, Jewel? You have hidden talents that you're not talking about.
Let's get to the bar. Ain't no bar, I'm drum.
Yeah.